Okay, members and friends, I want to try and keep this quick. I spoke with my lawyer, and that little procedure thing with the ministry getting all, woo, we didn't know about, my application for custody and all this stuff. And so therefore they put their counter, application in to say, no, we don't want the files together. So now they're reneging on that. They're taking that away because, they want it to go to trial. They still don't want my grandson with me. I asked my lawyer, I said, why? And he just kind of hummed and hawed, and he really, he trying to put the onus on me. Well, what you gave me, and I'm like, well, they didn't say anything. It's just, it was blips and blurbs of nothing, right? Like, isn't there something called a disclosure? Oh, well, yeah, when it gets closer to that date, for a trial, like, we'll, get more detail. And I'm like, okay, what, one day before court? Yeah, right? So, long story short here is, I'm very suspicious of the whole process, okay? And I'm not going to stop my videos. I asked him if I should go out there and start a little mini protest with my signs and my bullhorn, right? Because I'm not getting my grandson back, as far as we know, as of right now. Because the ministry still refuses to give me back my grandson. And then when I asked him, I said, well, when you're talking about the ministry, are you talking about the social worker, or are you talking about the supervisor, or are you talking about the ministry? Because when he says ministry, I'm thinking of the Minister of Children and Family Development, right? That lady, right? That one that I met in Cloverdale on her, last-ditched attempt to be reelected, which she did get reelected. And she also got reelected to remain as the minister. Stephanie, I don't know how to say her last name, C-A-D something I-E-X, something like that, right? Anyway, she's the one in the wheelchair in the BC Liberal government, right? A success story in terms of, beating the odds when you have a disability, right? So, is that the ministry that he's talking about? Is that the person that we're dealing with? Or are we dealing with the legislation? Because if we're dealing with the legislation and the rules and their, and their mandate and, their standards of services and all this other crap, ministry didn't follow any of it. So, because I basically told him that, how can I say this? Like, they kicked out my daughter. Let's just take it right from day one when they kicked out my daughter. How can they honestly say that they were following their standards when they put the mother at risk? That's like assault. That's domestic violence. That's abusive. And he's like, abusive, and like, how many times do I guess I have to put it in writing under 20 words, because one, people don't like to read if you get it in too long of a paragraph, right? And then it goes around and around and around. And then they sit up there and they criticize that you write too much. If you write too little, they say you need to expand on what you're writing. It's just so much rhetoric, right? How can nobody say that my daughter wasn't abused and assaulted with the threat? I said, should we have had the police come in, rustle us up, and take Andre out to have the proof that there was domestic violence perpetrated on this family? Because that was the alternative that the social worker gave my daughter for not coming home. Not because she was doing drugs or any of that stuff. It was because she didn't come home. That was the excuse. And because of that excuse, we are where we are today, which is hopelessness. Because my daughter is back now, and I would prefer her not to be where she was, but she's pretty ranky right now. Again, the social worker can have it on the file, but she doesn't walk the walk, she doesn't talk the talk, and she hides behind some ministry. I don't think it's the Minister of Children and Family Development that is actually making these decisions. These are individuals that are making these decisions. And since the social worker is the acting social worker, because I asked the lawyer, well, why can't we get a new social worker? I need someone that's more mature. I don't need a brat on my hands. I told him, I already told you, I wear my emotions on my sleeves. If I go see my grandson now, I'm just a bug study for these people. I'm just setting myself up so they can sit there and provoke me, because I'll be coming in looking tired. You know, I said, what if I come in and my voice is whiny? You know, because I had to put everybody in check after I did my 2 loads of laundry, as I'm scrounging around for some gas money to go see my grandson, which I will, because apparently it looks good for the judge. It's not what's in the best interest of the child, other than it looks good that it's in the best interest of the child. So I have to join the set. I have to become an actress to myself, right? And I'm not very good at that, because I wear my emotions on my sleeves. And I'm also tired, you know, and I got a lot of things on my mind, and I do a lot of things. I have a large responsibility. Doesn't mean I'm not capable of raising my grandson. If anything, it means I am capable, because I hold it together. I don't turn my back and walk away. But I'm expected now to walk into an abusive relationship that's been abusive from the day get-go, when they knocked on my door. So if it's abusive from that point forward, why wouldn't it continue being abusive? So now I have to walk into abusive doors to be abused, to go back in front of a judge, for a judge to get half the information and ignore the other half, so that a social worker and her supervisor can say that they're representing the minister who sits in a wheelchair. And this is what she would want for my grandson. This is what she would want for my grandson. She's the president of this organization. You know, she knows, she's met me. I told her I wanted my grandson back. Now that she got reelected, obviously it's going to be very hard to approach her, because she's not going to be in the public anymore. She's going to be behind closed doors. So if I email her something, her secretary will email me back and send me back to be reviewed and investigated by the people that are perpetrating this bullshit on my family. Like, this is public humiliation. This is discrimination. This is a violation of human rights. And my lawyer just says, well, you know, what's important here? Getting Andre back? You know, getting more flies with honey than, you know, spewing out the shit? But this is shit. I live in a pile of fucking shit, and it's everybody else's fucking shit. Why would I want to have a conversation with a woman that's trying to destroy my life? You tell me that. And if a judge wants to judge me because I'm trying to break away from an abusive relationship and establish something healthy, I already told my kids, well, if I have to go see Andre in their dinky little visiting room with all those broken toys, you know, I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to buy some toys. I'm going to go around the house. I'm going to find some extra toys that I've been giving out in the road. If I can give them out in the road, I can drop them off there and they can have them in there. I'm going to get into my bins and I'm going to go look for some paper and some crayons and stuff like that, because I'm downsizing anyway. You know, one half tells me these people don't respect what I do. They don't appreciate what I do. So just give it away anyway. Just give up, right? Give up, you know. Just fucking give up on what you were talking to Mr. Russ Pacey about 10 years ago. You know? Long before your grandson ever was even born. You know, give up on a universal school meal program. Give up on a horse program. Give up about, you know, all kinds of crazy crap. Because it's just crazy. People don't care about shit like that. They just don't fucking care. All they want is for you to put on a show like you do care. So I'm supposed to go into a hotbed and show my little grandson with my heart racing, because I'm in a fucking hornet's nest just waiting to kill me off with their stingers. And that's the bottom line. Yeah, I'm doing a video, and I'm going to keep doing the videos. I'm going to do the videos right up until the day I fucking die.
The video
yeah. I tell you, I don't like the idea of having to reestablish a bad relationship with a bad social worker. That's my emotions on my sleeves. I know, I'm stupid. So now my kids are going to beat me up and blame me that the reason Andre's not home is because it's my fault. And there is the moral of that story. And the social workers, they know it. Good, eh? Oh, baby, what's the matter with your eye? Oh, no, you got something wrong with your eye. I seen that. Oh, no. Oh, no. His eye's watering. Did you scratch it? Bad cat.